I'm continuing with organic only.
క్లోజ్ చేసాం.
So to identify the compounds which can give carbon dioxide with sodium bicarbonate solution.
Sir, is it 8?
What is the answer?
8, sir.
8, sir.
8. Answer is 8 only. See the first compound, this is phenol. This does not give, right? Second compound, this is carboxylic acid. It will give. Next compound, what do you call that?
Squaric acid.
Squaric acid. Does it give?
Yes.
Yes.
Squaric acid gives. Next is pyruvic acid. This is also carboxylic acid only.
Yes.
This is called as pyruvic acid. This will give. Next is benzene sulfonic acid.
Gives.
It gives.
Should give.
Right. So sulfonic acid will also give. This is picric acid, 2,4,6-trinitrophenol. This gives. This one is para-nitrophenol. Does it
Doesn't
give?
give.
It does not
Doesn't
give.
give.
It does not give. Para-nitrophenol does not give. If you have at least 2 NO2 group on the benzene ring, then that will give. But para-nitrophenol does not. Okay. This next compound, will it give or not? This compound. Will it give carbon dioxide or not? Tell firstly.
Yes, sir.
It will give. See, this is very similar to squaric acid only. Just to compare the structures, they are very similar. This also gives. This ethyl alcohol, it won't give. What's about anilinium chloride?
Will give.
Gives.
Does it give?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Anilinium chloride also gives. Anilinium chloride also gives carbon dioxide gas with sodium bicarbonate solution. And this is sulfonic acid only. Sulfonic acid will definitely. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 compounds. Phenol will not give. In this row, all will give. Para-nitrophenol will not give. Ethyl alcohol will not give. Remaining all will give.
Why will aluminum chloride, anilinium chloride give, sir?
Tell again.
Anilinium chloride, why will it give CO2, sir?
From where CO2 gas comes? When it reacted with sodium, carboxylic acid is reacted with sodium bicarbonate solution. Does CO2 comes from sodium bicarbonate or does it come from carboxylic acid?
NaHCl.
Sodium bicarbonate.
Sodium bicarbonate. Now, when I was teaching, I gave you some conditions that when carbon dioxide gas will be released.
Sir, pK less than 6.2.
pK is less than 6.2. And for anilinium chloride, do you remember what is pK of anilinium chloride? It is 4 point something, 4.6 I think. It's less than 5. See, pK is less than 6.3. All those give carbon dioxide gas with sodium bicarbonate. For anilinium chloride, pK is less than 6 and I think it is around 5, 4.6 or something. You can check your notes exact value. I don't remember, but I think it is 4.6. Yeah, it is 4.6. Its pK is 4.6. See, pK is less than 6.3. The compound gives carbon dioxide gas with sodium bicarbonate solution. Remember this example. This is very, very important example. Anilinium chloride. This gives carbon dioxide.
A, no, sir.
A. Only A.
Only A on this.
Only A. Right. Answer is only A. So just to see the reactions, actually the question is very simple, but many reactions are involved here. What is this first reaction? What do you call it?
Schmidt arrangement.
Schmidt reaction.
Schmidt reaction. So this is carboxylic acid when it is reacted with hydrozoic acid in the presence of sulfuric acid. Schmidt reaction takes place, and what is the product of this reaction?
Primary amine.
Product is primary amine. This method of preparation of primary amine. So here you will get this compound. So you will get primary amine. Now after that, it is reacted with 2 moles of methyl iodide. So when it is reacted with 2 moles of methyl iodide, nucleophilic substitution reaction will take place. Nitrogen has lone pair of electron. It will behave as nucleophile. It will attack on the carbon and replace iodine. Finally, these 2 hydrogens will be replaced by 2 methyl group. So you will get this compound. You will get tertiary amine. This nucleophilic substitution reaction, this reaction takes place in that Hofmann's exhaustive alkylation or Hofmann's exhaustive methylation, since we have taken methyl halide. So it gives tertiary amine. Now this tertiary amine, so this is your product A, this is product B. Now this tertiary amine is reacted with hydrogen peroxide. What is the product of this reaction?
Tertiary amine oxide.
Tertiary amine oxide. So this will get oxidized, and when tertiary amine is oxidized with hydrogen peroxide, it gives tertiary amine oxide. This is the product. So this is product C. Now after that, this tertiary amine oxide is heated. What reaction is this?
Pyrolytic elimination. Cope elimination.
Cope elimination. So now cope elimination will take place. And you know how to write the product in cope elimination. This is alpha carbon, this is beta carbon. This O minus will take hydrogen from here, from beta carbon, and this bond will get shifted between alpha and beta carbon. So O minus will remove H plus from beta carbon, and this bond will get shifted between beta and alpha, and from alpha carbon the leaving group will depart with bonded pair of electron. This is cope elimination. You will get here this product. Now O minus will take H plus, so it will become OH, and you will get this another product, this dimethyl hydroxylamine. So this is the product. Now see here how many reactions. This is a Schmidt reaction, that is one reaction which is involved. Then next is that SN2 reaction, Hofmann's exhaustive alkylation. Then you have oxidation of amine, and then after that you have cope elimination. So in this question, 4 different reactions are involved. Now there is one very important point about cope elimination. Cope elimination, it seems like this is nothing but E2 elimination only, but this is slightly different from normal E2. Can anyone tell what is the difference here?
Elimination of people.
In elimination.
Skin elimination. This is skin elimination. Normal E2 is anti-elimination, but the scope elimination mechanism is similar to E2, but this is skin elimination. You have to write the product of this reaction. This compound is known to you, this well-known compound, we call it succinimide. So succinimide is reacted with bromine in the presence of base potassium hydroxide. You need to write the product of this reaction.
Sir, the answer is NBS, sir.
NBS. What is the final product? NBS will be formed, but that is not the final product. NBS may further react.
Okay.
Sir, beta amino propanoic acids.
Beta amino propanoic acid.
Yes, sir.
So what you have done here?
Sir, first I did hydrolysis, sir.
Okay.
Then one side I got acid, other side I got amide, sir. That was primary amide.
Mhm.
Then I did half-amide bromamide reaction.
Okay. Others also try. Okay, so see this succinimide, it reacted with bromine in the presence of base. Can anyone tell what will be the first reaction which is going to take place here? How this reaction will proceed?
Hydrogen will be.
So first there will be acid-base reaction. This hydrogen is acidic, right? You can easily understand here if you remove this hydrogen as H plus and then write the corresponding conjugate base, that will be highly stable. Both sides you have very strong electron withdrawing group. So that hydrogen is acidic. So first reaction which is going to take place is acid-base reaction. Where this OH minus from potassium hydroxide will remove this acidic hydrogen and this bonded pair will get separated to nitrogen. It will come out as water and this you will get. Tell fastly, what is the next step?
Will react with Br2.
Now it will react with Br2. This is that mechanism only which you have done for Hoffman's bromamide, similar mechanism. Other bromine will go out as Br minus. Here bromine will come. Now, this is only called as NBS, N-bromosuccinimide. Now, there is no acidic hydrogen on this nitrogen. But you see, you have C double bond O group. Both the side you have C double bond O group. So base OH minus can attack on this C double bond O group. Pi bond can move to oxygen. This is nothing but hydrolysis of this amide functional group. As one of you told that hydrolysis is going to happen, hydrolysis will happen, but not in the beginning. First the reaction will happen with this acidic hydrogen and after that you should go for hydrolysis. So it will become O minus now. This pi bond will move to oxygen and OH will attack.
Sir,
Yeah. Tell next what will you do? What will happen after this?
Comes down and that negative charge is taken by nitrogen.
Now, negative charge will delocalize between this oxygen and carbon, and then this bonded pair of electron will get shifted to nitrogen. See, this is just hydrolysis of amide. You know, when you hydrolyze amide RCONH2, recall, right mechanism in a similar way. If you hydrolyze this RCONH2, hydrolysis you do in this by similar mechanism. You know, during hydrolysis, this bond breaks, carbon-nitrogen bond breaks, and RCO gives you carboxylic acid, and this comes out as ammonia. So similar way, right mechanism here. There is nothing new. So delocalize this bond, delocalize this negative charge between oxygen and carbon, make pi bond here, and then you break this carbon-nitrogen bond. Then you see what will you get. This will become, this nitrogen is bonded to bromine, and C double bond O. Then you have 2 CH2, COOH, and since you have separated this bond to nitrogen, it will have negative charge. Now this nitrogen has got negative charge, so it is strongly basic. And here is the acidic hydrogen. So now there will be internal acid-base reaction. So you will get here NH. Now again, you see this hydrogen. This is just to see this intermediate compound which you have got.
Yes, sir.
You are getting N-bromoamide in Hofmann's bromide reaction. This is nothing but Hofmann's bromide only. Now, once hydrogen gets connected to nitrogen, then next mole of base that will remove hydrogen from here, and then this bonded pair of electron will again get shifted to nitrogen. So OH minus will remove H plus from here, it will give you water, and nitrogen will again get negative charge. Now, from here you can guess the next step. If you remember the mechanism of Hofmann's bromide, you can easily do it. Anyone, what should we do now?
You have to break NBr bond, sir, and shift that nitrogen on the carbon. Negative charge.
Right. So this negative charge which is present on nitrogen, that will delocalize between nitrogen and carbon, and then this entire group, this group will migrate from carbon to nitrogen, and bromine will go out. This is only Hofmann's rearrangement. So now we will have double bond between nitrogen and carbon is bonded to oxygen by double bond, and this entire group will now migrate to nitrogen. So you will get here CH2, CH2, COO minus, that bromine will come out as Br minus. See, got isocyanate. See, this isocyanate also you are getting in Hofmann's bromide reaction, and after that, again you need to hydrolyze, and this reaction is known to you. If you hydrolyze this isocyanate, what is the product? NCO on hydrolysis gives what?
Amine and carbon dioxide.
So NH2 and carbon dioxide. So this is the final product. This is salt of beta amino propanoic acid.
Sir.
If you have done hydrolysis in the first step only, from there also you will get the similar
Yes.
answer. Are you getting same answer from there also?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Except that it is anionic into like acid-base reaction in the last step.
Hmm. So see, this is one very, very important reaction. Keep this reaction in mind. Succinimide and N-bromosuccinimide. These two compounds also gave Hofmann's bromamide reaction. They give Hofmann's bromamide reaction. Succinimide and NBS, both the compounds give Hofmann's bromide reaction, and this is the mechanism which we have discussed. Someone was asking anything?
Yes, sir. Like in succinimide, sir, after the hydrogen or nitrogen had reacted, why aren't we considering the hydrogen adjacent to the carbon, like C double bond group, to be acidic, sir?
CW. Which hydrogen you're talking about?
Sir, the alpha hydrogen of C double bond groups, sir.
This is succinimide.
Yes, sir. So the hydrogen on the carbon adjacent to the C double bond group, sir.
This one.
Yes, sir.
So
is that not acidic, sir? Like it's in conjugation with the C double bond group, no, sir.
yeah,
The
but which
negative
is
charge.
more acidic? This is more acidic or this is more acidic?
No, sir. After the hydrogen or nitrogen had reacted, sir, we are saying that OH minus is attacking the C double bond group, no, sir. So why is it not reacting with this hydrogen, sir?
That can react with this hydrogen, but that happens in what reaction? That is aldol reaction, and that is highly reversible. Aldol reaction is reversible reaction. See, that possibility we have if nothing else is happening. See, aldol reactions, Cannizzaro reactions, those are not very common reactions. Cannizzaro is a very, very difficult reaction that happens only when nothing else happens. Aldol reaction is also reversible reaction. And do you know that aldol reaction is not successful with ketones? Aldol reactions are not at all successful with ketones. So if you're talking about this removal of this hydrogen, then next reaction which is supposed to happen, that will be something like similar to aldol reaction. And you just to see this compound, forget this nitrogen for some time. Then what group will be this? This will be ketonic group. Aldol reactions are not successful with ketones. So here you see, just to see the compound, we have taken which compound? We have taken amide, right?
Yes.
We have taken succinimide. If you take any amide, and if amide is reacted with bromine in the presence of base, then the first reaction which comes in our mind is Hofmann's bromide reaction, provided that amide is primary. Secondary and tertiary amides do not give this reaction. But this is succinimide, which is cyclic amide. This is one very special case. That's why I've taken it today.
Okay, sir.
But normally this Hofmann's bromide reaction is given by primary amide. So whenever you have amide and that is reacted with halogen and base, you should think directly about Hofmann's bromide reaction and write the mechanism on the line of that reaction.
Sir, just one
Otherwise,
doubt.
so many reactions are possible. Many side products will be formed. We are not interested in all those side products. Yeah, tell.
Sir, if the same thing we do with like glutamide, sir, then the final product is something like NH2 and CO minus, which can form a 6-membered ring also. Should we take that consideration in the last step, sir? Like esterification with in the last step.
Here,
Yes, sir.
after getting this one.
Yes, sir. In the, suppose there is one more carbon in between, sir.
Okay.
Then we'll get a 6-membered ring, or 5-membered.
How? This NH2, you are showing attack on this carbon.
Yes, sir. After acid hydrolysis, sir.
But if you know, if you add acid, then what will happen? Will it remain NH2?
It won't remain. Yes, sir.
If you add acid, then what this NH2 will become? NH2 will become
NH3.
NH3 plus.
Yes.
Have you got it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It won't remain NH2. It will become NH3 plus. These functional groups I'm numbering as 1. This is numbered as 2. This is numbered as 3. Now the question is the correct order of pK for the groups 1, 2, and 3 respectively. I'll do it. Miss, simply you tell me what is pK of functional group 1, what is pK of functional group 2, and what is pK of functional group 3. 3 pK values are already given: 1.8, 8.3, and 10.8.
Sir, for 1 it is 1.8.
For 1 it is 1.8.
For 2 it is 8.3.
Yes, sir.
And 3 it will be 10.8.
10.8. Yes.
So see, there are three functional groups. The most acidic group will have least pK. Acidic strength is inversely proportional to pK. So most acidic will have least pK. Of course, among all these, the most acidic group is carboxylic acid group. So its pK will be 1.8. Between, you see this part, if you see this part, this is nothing but thioalcohol. And this is amine. Between thioalcohol and amine, this is thioalcohol will be more acidic than amine. So next most acidic group is this thioalcoholic group, which will have pK 8.3, and then you will have this amino group. pK will be 10.8. So this one question. This compound has been reacted with hydroxylamine, and it said that it gives two products P and Q. P on reaction with sodium gives cyclic product. The cyclic product is Q. Q is then reacted with H plus. It is heated with H plus. It gives R. R on acid hydrolysis gives S and T. T on reaction with sodium bicarbonate gives carbon dioxide. You have to identify PQ, RSTU.
Sir, P is cis hydroxylamine. U is that in place of chlorine, we'll have oxygen connected to the benzene ring, 5-membered.
Okay.
Q is trans product. R is Beckmann's product of Q. S is one secondary amine, and T is formic acid.
T is
Formic
What is-
acid. Not formic acid, ethanoic acid.
okay. So P and Q are isomers, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Correct. That is only correct thing. All of you try this question. What you have to do here, you see this compound is first reacted with hydroxylamine. First you write the reaction at this carbonyl group. Now, you know, if this carbonyl compound reacts with this hydroxylamine, you will get that oxime. Oxime of carbonyl compound you will get, and that will show geometrical isomerism. So there were two geometrical isomers there. Now from one geometrical isomer you will get the cyclic product, and from other geometrical isomer all these reactions will happen. So that only you have to identify which geometrical isomer will give cyclic. So identify that geometrical isomer which will give cyclic product on reaction with sodium, and another one will give all these reactions. Here this reaction, this Q2R, this is nothing but Beckmann's rearrangement, correct? You know,
Yes.
Beckmann's rearrangement is given by oxime of ketone.
Yes.
Oxime gives Beckmann's rearrangement. This is Beckmann's rearrangement reaction. So those who have not got can try. I will discuss in the next class. In next class I will take some more reactions. Okay, so we are closing for the day. We will meet in the next class.